All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, one that could totally change how we connect with each other. We're talking about a more sustainable, a more, well, natural way to think about empathy. The big idea here? What if empathy isn't something you do, but something you can simply become?
So, let me just start with a question for you. Have you ever tried so hard to be empathetic that it just completely wiped you out? I mean, you're left feeling totally exhausted. This empathy burnout, it's a real thing, and it's super common. But what if there's a better way, a different approach?
Okay, take a look at this. This really lays out the two sides of the coin. On one side, you've got what we can call effortful empathy. You know the kind of talking about. It feels like a chore, it's straining, it's draining. But then, on the other side, there's resonant empathy. And this is a whole different ball game. It's natural, it's calm, it's open. It's not a task, it's a state of being. And that right there, that's the big idea we're going to unpack. So the big question is, how do we actually make that shift? How do we move from one side to the other? Well, let's dive into this new view of empathy. It's all about finding that genuine connection without feeling like you have to force it. So here's what we mean by resonant empathy. It's not about that hard work of trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Not really. It's more of a natural connection that just happens. It kind of bubbles up on its own when your own nervous system is calm and open. See the difference? It's way less about trying and a whole lot more about just allowing. Now, I know this might sound a little bit abstract, maybe a little out there, but what's so cool is that it's actually grounded in real science. So let's get into the biology of it all and see how our bodies, our nervous systems, are literally wired for this kind of deep connection. Okay, so if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Real, genuine empathy isn't something you have to force or manufacture for someone else. It's actually a natural side effect of getting your own internal world in order. When you're regulated and your nervous system is steady, empathy just flows effortlessly. And this isn't just some vague feeling either. It's actually measurable in your body. We're talking real biological shifts. When you get into this calm state, your heart rate variability improves, your breath gets deeper, and here's the really cool part. Your prefrontal cortex, that's the smart, rational part of your brain, it comes fully online. And what that means is you start picking up on emotional cues way more accurately. You're not having those knee-jerk reactive stress moments. You basically become a much clearer, more open channel for connection. Okay, so that's the science behind it, which is fascinating, right? But how do we actually do this, like in our real busy lives? Well, the great news is you don't need to go on a week-long silent retreat. It all starts with these tiny, super simple practices that have a surprisingly huge impact. All right, here's a really simple one you can literally try today. It's called the resonance moment. Step 1, just observe. Notice someone's posture, their tone of voice, their energy, but, and this is important, without any judgment. Step 2, just breathe. One slow, gentle breath. That's it. Step 3, align. Just feel your body and mind soften a bit. And finally, step 4, and this is probably the hardest part for most of us, let go. Release that powerful urge to fix things, to give advice, to jump in. Your only job in that moment is to be present and resonate. That's the whole practice. Okay, so that's what it looks like for one person. But what happens when this idea starts to scale up? This is where it gets really amazing. We're going to see how this individual state of calm can actually become the bedrock for collective peace. It really does all start with one, just a single person making the choice to find that calm, attentive state. But that one person's regulated state, it has a ripple effect. It subtly influences the people around them without even trying. And before you know it, maybe you have 100 people doing this. And suddenly, an entire community starts to feel different. Its whole emotional vibe begins to shift. Now, just imagine that scaling up even more, to 1 million people, or more. All of them cultivating this resonant empathy. At that point, you're not just talking about a few calm individuals anymore. You're talking about the actual seed of a global peace movement. And what this shows us is a really fundamental truth, right? Our inner worlds are not isolated bubbles. They're social. They're cumulative. Every single person's inner calm adds to this like a collective reservoir of peace and understanding for everyone. Want another super practical tool? Okay, here's one more powerful micro practice. First, just place a hand over your heart. Now breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 6. That longer exhale is a scientifically proven trick to calm your nervous system right down.
And while you're doing that, just think of a person or a situation that could use some empathy. And then just radiate, send some soft, calm attention their way. It's a beautiful way to turn that personal feeling into a quiet, focused action.
All right, let's start to bring this all home. What does this all mean for you right now? It's really about recognizing your own quiet contribution, understanding the immense power that you hold just in your own calm, regulated presence.
You know, you can almost think of it like this. Every single time you choose to respond calmly instead of reacting, every small moment of compassionate attention you offer, you're laying another brick, a brick in this massive worldwide architecture of peace. It's a real, tangible contribution that every single one of us can make.
And you know, this idea that we're all connected, it's not new. It has incredibly deep roots. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it so beautifully. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. He said whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. It's so true. Our internal states are constantly rippling outward, shaping the world that we all have to share.
So the real change, it isn't some huge, grand gesture. It's not about that at all. It's found in all those tiny little moments, the moments where we choose resonance over reaction, calm over effort. So the final question really is for you. What ripple of calm are you going to start today?